I grew up in a very small village in Switzerland, so actually nobody knows where I had the idea from. So there was no concert. I had never seen a harp before, and I didn't even know how it looks like. But apparently, I told my parents I would like to play.
But it's so lovely to talk to you. I'm so happy that I can talk to you. I've seen on your Instagram page, and I've watched the videos of you playing the harp, and very impressive. I love your energy.
Thank you very much.
Behind the harp, yeah. So, what was it that inspired you to start playing the harp?
Well, actually, I mean, it's a good question. I was 4 years old when I told my parents that I would like to play the harp, and they are not musicians, and I grew up in a very small village in Switzerland. So actually nobody knows where I had the idea from. So there was no concert. I had never seen a harp before, and I didn't even know how it looks like. But apparently I told my parents I would like to play the harp. And then they thought it's an idea that is going to pass, you know, kids, they want to have a dog or whatever. Yeah. And I kept on telling them that I would like to play. And then at the age of 6, we started on one of those small Celtic harps. Yeah. And yeah, that's how it began. So no one really knows exactly.
Isn't that incredible? Because, and I mean, you said you didn't see a concert, because many times when I ask people, how did they start? It's always the thing, oh, I heard the sound and this is just absolutely what I wanted to do. But you didn't even hear it. You didn't even see it.
Yeah, I mean, you know, actually, I can't remember myself. So,
oh, I see. So
obviously, I must have heard it somehow. I mean, also on Christmas, you know, maybe someone speaks about angels on harps, or I mean,
oh, yes.
I mean, I don't know, but it must have been something. So, I don't know. I just had the idea, and it was very strange because it was this small cow village in Switzerland where obviously no one played the harp. And, you know, it's maybe a nice thing to believe that it was my destiny or meant to be, but, I don't know.
I believe. Yeah, I believe in things like that. And where did your parents then find a harp teacher? Because that's always the situation, isn't it, to find the teacher?
Well, it was not so difficult. I mean, you know, it was a village, I mean, let's say 25 minutes away from Bern, and there in the capital of Switzerland, and there was like a conservatory where you could study harp. I mean, like have harp lessons. So I had to take the bus then always, and I remember my grandma picking me up then, like, because I was a 6-year-old alone in the city, you know. So I would go to the lessons there every week. That's how it started.
But yeah, that's a very interesting story. I absolutely love it. But also the other thing is that I thought today, and it's, you know, you see harp players and so on, and I'm sorry, I'm not a musician, so excuse me when I say anything politically incorrect here.
It's absolutely fine.
But and I've seen women play the harp, but you've got such great energy behind that harp, and no disrespect to any woman who plays the harp, but I absolutely love watching you play the harp. Is it so that is it just me, but do men have a different sort of approach to playing? Is it because yours feels more sort of energetic?
Yeah, you know, let's say it like this. I mean, there are probably like 90% women. There are quite a lot of men. Obviously, I know a lot of men playing the harp, but most people, they hardly know any harpist, so they imagine this blonde woman playing. So there is just like the obvious difference. I mean, men have more strength than women. And, you know, it looks really easy to play the harp, but actually it is very challenging, and it's demanding, you know, with the fingers, because you are plucking those strings. It's not like on the piano where you can just, you go down with gravity, but we have to really play inside the heart. So it's more, so let's say we have more strength, and this makes it maybe a bit easier. But I mean, there's also there's a masculine energy in the world, there's a female energy, and obviously, I mean, I'm also playing soft and gentle sometimes, but I guess that makes my playing maybe a bit bit different than most women.
Yeah, no, definitely. I mean, I picked it up immediately, and it's very much more as if, you know, you can see the strength there, and you can see, and it's very there's a lot of movement from you, and which I find really beautiful. I love it.
Thank you.
So then you played the harp, and when did it start by you to, when did you have this thought that, you know, I want to be a professional harp player?
Well, actually, it was, I cannot really remember a point. I remember when I was 16, my teacher told me, like, you know, you're good. Have you ever thought about studying music? And then he took me to his ex-professor to Munich. And I remember there was 16 going to Munich and playing for her. And then she told me, like, I could go and study anywhere, she told me. I was like, wow. Like
Really?
surprised, because I didn't know actually that I was on a level for that. I mean, I didn't know anything about the professional music world by then. And then, yeah, I finished just my high school, and I thought, why not? I love to play the harp. I can never have to get up at 6 in the morning.
And milk a cow.
Yeah, exactly. No, I mean, we were not farmers. We were just living there.
Oh, I
But
see.
no, it's definitely, I mean, I live now in the middle, I mean, in a very central place in Berlin, and I really love the big city life, and I would
Really?
not want to change.
Oh, but yeah, so this is now, and this is your life now. This is your
Yes, absolutely.
job, and then, yeah.
I mean, I studied then, obviously, I
Yeah.
did my bachelor's in Basel, and then master's in Zurich, and then I did a second master in Berlin, and then I did like a kind of like a third master. It was a soloist diploma. It's called Konzertexamen here. And, but you know, during all those masters, you are performing as well. So you are just studying on the side, like with a professor that's coaching you. And obviously, I built my life in this city. I have my base here, and I'm traveling from Berlin. And I'm still frequently in Switzerland for concerts, so every few months. So I get to see some cows. I want to.
But I love Switzerland, and I love that that way of living, and you know that it's so part of that farming life. And
It's great. It's very clean, and of course, I feel like at home every time I go there. I enjoy my time, but after a week, you know, I enjoy also the energy of Berlin. I mean, things are happening. It's crazy. At the moment, we have this light festival. I just ran into it yesterday. I didn't even know about that. There are tons of events. Things are happening. And I mean, obviously, you can't participate in everything, but this is so great. I mean, Switzerland's just a bit smaller. Like, I believe for a young artist, I mean, I felt like at least going to a bigger city where you have more impulses and creative energy.
Yeah.
But Vienna is obviously, I mean, Vienna is very artistic, so you have a lot of things going on there.
Yeah. So about this Klangwolke.
The Linzer Klangwolke, yes.
Yeah, I heard about that, and I actually it's a wonderful project that you are involved in, and I've spoken to a cellist who was also involved in that. And how did you get to do this project?
So actually, they contacted me and they said they saw my videos. I mean, apparently they were searching for a harpist, and they said, we want to have a male harpist as well, because they have two female cellists. So it should be the idea that there are those two female energies and then male harpists, but actually there are many harpists. So it was just internet. They watched also my video in the, you know, if you have seen this, where I'm playing in the metro station, kind of. There's this one video I have where they said, oh, he looks like he's also having fun, not only on the classical stage. And they said they wanted, because it's kind of crossover. I mean, it's not classical in a way. There it's more, you know, the music is very cinematic, actually. There's a lot of arts included. Of course, there are classical musicians, and I'm also a classical musician, and this is my main area where I work. but it's not a classic concert stage. So they said like this guy looks like he's having fun also on this stage. This is what they told me.
Yeah.
So that was it.
And I saw you have this wonderful costume that you're wearing, which is quite impressive. And I'm going to speak to the costume designer as well, because it's so, all these things are so theatrical that's happening there.
Yes, and I mean, this is crazy. The magnitude of this event. I mean, it's $1 million budget. You know, they have, and they just give this for free to the people. Kind of, let's maybe not to educate, but to give culture to the people. So this is so great. I don't know if we have something similar like this in Switzerland, actually. Also in Germany, I haven't heard of it. Of course, we have those, you know, sometimes those festivals where it's at the lake, but people, then they play one opera for 3 months and people pay a lot of money for the ticket, and everything is for free in Linz. I mean, up to 100,000 people can just enjoy an amazing show that people build, and just for free for the people. That's amazing.
Yeah. I thought the same thing. I thought it was interesting that it's for free, you know, and with production going on, and I heard there were underwater shots and filming like that. Yeah. So, do you sometimes otherwise also do a bit of crossover, or do you just basically focus on classical?
Well, let's say my education is, of course, classical. You know, I have done also some projects when I was playing in a club with a DJ, you know, improvising something, but I don't market myself really in this way. And also it's not, I wouldn't call myself like a huge crossover artist. I had several projects, and of course I can also play some pop songs, or I have performed already with some other musicians, some pop songs. But when you check out my concert schedule, I mean, it's all classical mostly. I mean,
yeah. And it's also what I find fascinating, and I've been having a few interviews over the lockdown period with artists. You were talking also now about all your master's degrees that you have. And I think, so for myself, maybe I'm not that clued up, but it's for me very interesting how much you study and how, you know, how many of these master degrees you have, and to be able to master this instrument.
Yeah, but I mean, you know, it's a bit different when you say like, okay, you study medicine and you do 3 masters. I believe it's kind of a different intensity. Of course, it's intense, practiced a lot, but basically it's like you're having a coach on the side, and it's for free. I mean, for free, you don't pay a lot here. I won also some scholarships to study here, so I was performing already. So it's just like you have someone that you can go to every week. And for example, in the 2nd and 3rd master, I had just 1.5 hour lessons every week. That's it. So basically, you don't have, okay, you have to write then maybe a certain master thesis, but that's not very theoretical. So it's really about performing and playing. And anyways, I'm doing this and practicing for my concert. So I believe it's just really great to have as long as possible this support and this influence. But in the end, at the end of the day, no one cares if you have a master degree or not. Maybe a bachelor for some positions if you want to enter an orchestra, but no one asks you how many masters you have. You have to get booked. And I mean, otherwise, if you can make it without a master, it's fine. But the harp is a very complex instrument. I mean, so I was really happy and lucky to do 3 of the masters. Yes.
And these teachers that you've done everything in Berlin. Well, you say you've done a few in Zurich as well.
Exactly. So I had the first bachelor and masters was with Sarah O'Brien. She was solo harpist of the Munich Philharmonic and Concertgebouw Orchestra. Now she's teaching still in Basel and Zurich as a professor. So this was the beginning. And then for the 2 last masters, I went to Maria Graf, and she just got retired now from Hans Eisler, which is Hochschule für Musik Hans Eisler in Berlin. It's like one of our 2 universities for music here in Berlin. And yeah, it's just like having a coach then. And it was really, they are very different. They have a very different approach to playing the harp, you know, so everyone brings their own influence. I played my way, you know, some others, teachers, they play whatever in a different way. So it's important to go to several to understand how do they approach the music, and then you can decide what you want to take for yourself.
Oh yeah, yeah. Do you sometimes find that there's a pressure for you to play specific things with a harp, or do you feel that you have the freedom to do the concerts the way you want to do them?
Of course, there are certain pieces or things you have to play, but I mean, I'm a freelancer. I mean, I'm a soloist. I can basically, if there is something that I really don't want to play, I can say no.
Yeah.
But if it's a great project, of course, I mean, you have to play sometimes things because you want to play the projects. They're really great. Yeah. Maybe it's a great orchestra or a great location, so you play the pieces. But mostly I defining kind of my program, especially when they book me for a solo recital, which happens a lot. Then sometimes they say, oh, this piece we really like, or this one, so maybe you have to play this one or the other one, but the rest I can choose by myself.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
For example, I'm not really performing a lot experimental contemporary music. Yeah. I can play that. I have done that. I have worked on those pieces. It's not my main area. Like, you know, the ones where they are knocking and shouting and boom, like, those experimental projects. I mean, I'm not against it, but it's like not my main focus, for example.
Mm. Yeah. But now on a lighter note, what do you have rituals or something before a concert? How do you prepare yourself on the day of the concert?
No.
Nothing.
No, I mean, you know, like there is no point. You know, I believe there was a time when I was younger, I was quite nervous sometimes, but I never had the big stage fever, stage fright.
Yeah.
So, but meanwhile, I'm performing quite a lot, and I mean, of course I wash my hands. I wash my hands, and I have a nice suit or something. But it should be natural, you know. I don't believe in like really like, oh, you know, like what's happening now. And then when you think like you always have to eat an apple and drink, for example, orange juice. And then once the orange juice is not there, and then you freak out or what. I don't even want to enslave myself with a ritual, so I don't have one. It'd be natural, you know. It's like talking, or why should you get stressed about it? Otherwise, the music cannot flow.
And but now you said about the suit. Do you have specific like concert outfits and so on, or how do you dress? What is the inspiration to get dressed?
So it's first of all, it's much easier than for women. If I was a woman, I think. I mean, I don't envy you for having all those dresses. And if you wear the same dress 3 times, then everyone asks, actually, she's wearing all the time this dress. So there's this pressure to constantly change. So I have a really nice suit a custom-made suit by Dominic Bachmann from Switzerland, from Kenner. So they kind of provided me this suit. So sometimes I play in this one. I have also others, but often I just also a black shirt is totally fine. You know, men, I mean, this is how men perform mostly. Of course, you can have an extraordinary, maybe red shirt or red suit or something like this, but
But do you need, if you wear a suit, do you need sort of movement? I mean, is it restrictive for you in a way? Is it something?
Well, I always take suits that have a bit stretch inside.
Oh, okay.
Because I mean, it's not like it's okay, but when you move like this a lot, then it's not so comfortable. But I mean, you know, women are also wearing all the time things that are not comfortable. This is how it is, though.
Yeah. And shoes, is it fine for you to wear any shoes, or is there a specific?
There are, I mean, meanwhile, I say I can play, I play mostly in those black concert shoes, the normal ones. Usually it's better when is it the sole?
Yeah.
You say when the sole is thin, so you can feel a bit more the pedals.
Yeah.
But I can play. I mean, obviously in sneakers or so it's really difficult because they are so fat, and I have to move the pedals. But with normal concert shoes, I'm fine actually.
Yeah. No, it's true that men have it a bit easier. With that type of thing. So, but Joel, this is so lovely to talk to you. And as I say, I'm really enjoying those clips that you have and to see you play. I hope that I would one day can see you in concert. That would be amazing.
Yes, will you come to Linz?
Will
you actually come?
Yeah, I should come. I should go.
I mean, it's 1 hour with the train from Vienna.
Yes.
And I mean,
right.
but you just have to, I think you have to book the ticket online.
Yeah.
But I think it's a quick thing just for the Corona regulations.
Yeah.
Why not? I mean.
Yeah. Do you, are you just playing sort of, or were you also requested to play underwater? Or are you?
No.
Oh, okay.
Not underwater with the harp because they threw the cellos away after I believe. Obviously, but they were not expensive cellos. But for a harp to play underwater, I mean, it would be kind of sad. There are many people that cannot afford a harp, and then this is then when artistry maybe goes in a bit.
I know what you mean. Yeah. It's I'm someone like that. I cringe when things like that. When I see a piano standing in a river and somebody plays on it for a visual effect, then I always cringe a little bit because I think of a piano.
No, on the other hand, there are very, let's say, very cheap violins or cellos that are obviously made for that reason. So in this case, okay. But if it was a real harp, well, obviously we wouldn't take a perfectly working harp. It would be just a waste. And let's say it's a super old harp and it's just for the visuals.
Yeah,
but I'm sure it looks great. I'm really curious how it looks actually.
Yeah. But just one more thing that I think of now is how many harps do you have?
Actually, one.
Oh, okay.
I have a very small one here. I have this little one. That's the cute one.
Oh, I see. Yeah.
But I mean, this is my.
Oh wow. Oh wow, that's amazing.
Yeah, because I sold my old harp then when I bought this one because it's a really great harp and I'm traveling a lot. So sometimes they provide me with harps like in Linz. I'm not playing on my own harp. And then I move my harp or then I don't know if I had a second harp. I mean, then I would still play only on this one probably. So it would be kind of a waste.
Does it make a difference when somebody else provides you with a harp?
It's like driving another car, that you're not used to. But obviously, I mean, when you have to achieve or what we call perfection or musical highlights, first, then it's sometimes difficult, but usually you can warm up a bit and
get used to.
But a good harpist, I believe a good harpist should be able to express himself also on different instruments. I mean, there is not just one instrument that I can make music. Maybe I can form the music a bit nicer on the instrument, I know, but I should be able to play on a harp that is good also, and not mine as well.
Yeah. And the little harp, what do you use that for?
Actually, it's just a decoration.
Oh, I see.
No, it was like the harp that I started to play was something in between. I mean, I can play this one, but it was actually a present of a friend, and it was, it's not expensive. It's more like.
I see. No, I thought maybe I thought maybe it was something quirky to play with. Yeah. But Joel, have a lovely time in Linz.
Thank you so much. Maybe see you there.
Yeah, I'm definitely going to try and make it. And it was really lovely to talk to you. And whenever you are in Vienna, please let me know. I would so love to meet you in person.
Of course, it would be my pleasure.
Yeah.
Thank you
Okay.
very much for the interview, and I wish you a great afternoon as well. I
Thank
will
you very much.
continue to practice now.
Oh, okay. Okay. Thank you, Joel. Bye.
Thank you. Have a nice day. Bye.
Thank you, you too. Bye.